process of perception that occurs due to the association of the organs with external objects is just an undulated expression of Chitta. The part of the Chitta where such vibrations take place is called the Kamamaya Kosha, or conscious or crude mind. In the wakeful state, this Kamamaya Kosha keeps itself immensely busy. Although the sphere of the Kamamaya Kosha is quite large, it has no tranquility due to the influence of the ever-restless organs. So the microcosms, however hard they may try, never attain perfect peace and beatitude through the sadhana of Kamamaya Kosha alone. With a mind inclined towards the gratification of the sensual propensities, can perfection be attained by a higher kosha above it, i.e. Manomaya Kosha, subconscious mind? No, it cannot, for the memory, comprehension, and imagination of the Manomaya Kosha, be the original or pertaining to samskaras, bear the stamp of petty I-ness, and this very pettiness of the ego stands in the way of attaining perfection. None of the higher koshas can hold the Chitta pervasively, and for that very reason none of them is capable of imparting macrocosmic bliss to the microcosm. Whatever are the waves in the unit Chitta, in reality they do indirectly agitate every kosha, although they are directly under the sway of the Kamamaya and Manomaya koshas according to their circumstantial distinctions. This agitation is not the vibration of the infinite, it is the fevers and frets of the unit Chitta. Spiritual sadhana is indeed the sadhana of bringing stability to the unit Chitta. This merges in its immediate subjective part, and then losing the ego, merges in the entitative I. Every string of the microcosmic Chitta resounds with a hitherto unheard divine melody, and the microcosm loses everything of its own. There remains only the divine. Sadhana is the process of stabilizing and becalming the Chitta. In this sadhana of stabilizing the Chitta, the meaning of progress is to gradually cleanse every kosha of its impurities. When Kamamaya Kosha is stabilized, the Chitta will follow the dictates of the Manomaya Kosha, and will not be swayed by the lower propensities, by sensual proclivities. Then again, when Manomaya Kosha becomes tranquil, the Chitta will be free from the influence of Kamamaya Kosha. It will then merge its own entity in the Atimanas Kosha, the supramental mind. In other words, it will exhaust the remaining samskaras. It cannot perform any original action, pratyaya mulakya, without chitta shuddhi, mental purification, because these non-original actions keep the lower koshas active. Thus one must continue with sadhana ceaselessly, with a view to gradually establishing harmony and equilibrium in the koshas, one after another. The moment the indistinct sensibility of the Hiranmaya Kosha subconscious mind is free of the least vestige of impurity, the sadhaka shines with the dazzling radiance of the Satyaloka. That is an auspicious moment for a sadhaka, as it is unification between Atman and Paramatman. Action is of two kinds, original and reactive, pratyaya mulakya and samskara mulakya. It is due to original actions that samskaras accumulate. The samskaras are exhausted through reactive actions. In the case of original actions, the unit entity enjoys some freedom, but not in the reactive actions. Original actions, whether in the external world or in the world of thought, are performed in the wakeful state. In most cases, the thoughts in a dream are the tightly woven expression of the dreamer's samskaras. In the dream state, the Kamamaya Kosha and even the Manomaya Kosha have no direct authorship, so original action is not possible. But the reason that this dream state is subtler than the wakeful state is that in the dream state, the lower koshas completely subliminate themselves to the higher koshas. It becomes impossible for them to indulge extraversively in original acts, driven by the sensual propensities. The unconscious or causal mind, however, remains in its original stance even in the dream state, that is to say, In that state, the normal characteristic of the Atis Manas Kosha, supramental mind, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, subliminal mind, and Hiranmaya Kosha, subtle causal mind, are not impaired. The dream world is directly concerned with the Atismana Kosha, and from this Atismana Kosha, the Manomaya Kosha germinates. Because the Atismana Kosha is the creator of the Manomaya Kosha, it is called Pitri Loka, supramental sphere, due to the incessant expression of samskaras. This Pitri Loka also does not remain in a state free of impurities, and for this reason, the divine effulgence cannot be properly reflected in this Loka. The Loka just above it, the Vijnanamaya Kosha or Jnana Loka, being involved with the I feeling asmita, also has impurities. Although it enjoys a very elevated position, yet it is not free from the possibility of downfall. In this Loka, the mind does experience the semblance of bliss, but the unit may also degenerate into inertness, driven by the samskaras. Although both these eventualities take place unknown to the unit itself, so one who has made even the least acquaintance with this Loka, whether that person does good or evil acts, develops a rather self-forgetful nature. This very Loka is also called Gandharva Loka in Sanskrit. The semblance of happiness that arises out of music or other fine arts belongs to this Loka. Let us call it in English the subliminal sphere. This Loka lacks perfection due to the influence of asmita, so people may attain the semblance of suggestion of happiness by cultivating only the fine arts, but they cannot fully establish themselves in bliss divine. For this Brahma sadhana is indispensable. The Loka above this, where the Hiranmaya Kosha, subtle causal mind, is established, is what we call Devar Loka. When sadhakas merge their petty I feeling from the realm of the Deva Loka, where this I feeling is not very much evident, into the bearing of the great, they establish themselves fully in Saguna Brahma, qualified consciousness, the collectivity of Paramatman, macrocosm and microcosm. In this Loka, if the whole of the I feeling asmita is shattered and merged in Purusha, the unit attains total identification with Nirguna Brahma, unqualified or objectless consciousness. This Loka is the Satya Loka, this indeed is the Brahma Loka. The one who is established in this Loka is alone the Brahman. Saguna or Nirguna, whatever be the goal or aspirations of the sadhakas on the path of sadhana, they must avoid the fragmentary pursuits of their organs. So the spiritual aspirants have to properly understand intrinsic tendencies of the organs, or else it is impossible to bring them under control. Sadhakas must know how the organs and their tendencies have been evolved and why. Indriyanam prithaga bhava muddaya stamayo shashet Prittagut padyamananam matvadiruna shoshati. The human body is made of 5 fundamental factors, which are controlled by prana, vital energy. Prana is controlled by the mind, so prana and the mind are respectively the direct and the indirect controllers of those fundamental factors. The different seats of the mind for controlling the fundamental factors indirectly are called plexi, chakras. In these chakras the prana is active. The nucleus that exists in the center of these chakras bears the controllership of the mind. The main controlling station of the chitta and mind is located in the 6th plexus, the pituitary plexus, Agya chakra. This plexus also controls the other fundamental factors. The right petal, the acoustic root of which is Ha, controls the apara vritti, propensity of extraversiality, of the human mind. In this it is assisted by the right subtle nerve current, the pingala, which primarily controls the left portion of the body, and secondarily the right portion. The left petal of pituitary plexus, whose acoustic root is ksha, controls the force of spiritual inclination, or paravritti. With the help of the left subtle nerve of ida, it primarily controls the activities of the right portion of the body, and secondarily the activities of the left portion. But whether the prana directly controls the chakras, there too the mind has to remain with it. A part of the mind remains intimately and pervasively associated with prana, that controls the Muladhara chakra. Thus the five koshas, or layers of the mind, Kamamaya, Manumaya, Atimanasa, Vijnanamaya, and Hiranmaya, chiefly control the five subtle energy centers, or chakras, the Muladhara, Svadhyaya, Manipura, Anahata, and Vishuddha chakra respectively. Agya chakra does not directly control any fundamental factor, but by its spiritual power controls the psychic force. Those who are engaged in bringing this seat of knowledge under control are the true sadhakas. For them alone the divine sphere remains open. The perfect sadhana is the sustained effort to completely identify every kosha with the inner self. Thus, the more sadhakas progress on the path of sadhana, the more their chakras and propensities, vrittis, are gradually controlled by the higher and higher koshas. But the sadhakas must not stop here. At the final stage of their sadhana, even the stance of Agya Chakra, even their entire mind entity has to be taken to a higher state of existence, the Brahmaloka, and merged in the Purusha Bhava, or cognitive being. It is in the Sahasrara Chakra, pineal plexus, that sadhakas establish themselves in the true blissful state, and transcends the bondages of pleasure and pain. That state is the ultimate state of attainment for microcosms. It is the original stance of Brahma. There exists neither you nor he. The two become one. It is by means of sadhana that this supreme rank is attainable. So you see, the destiny of human beings is in their own hands. You are certainly capable of controlling yourself. Here yourself means your propensities, the demons within you.